mysterious witch? Where did she come from? How did she become so wicked? And what is the true nature of evil? Gregory Maguire creates a fantasy world so rich and vivid that we will never look at Oz the same way again. Wicked is about a land where animals talk and strive to be treated like first-class citizens. Munchkinlanders seek the comfort of middle-class stability, and the Tin Man becomes a victim of domestic violence. And then there is the little green-skinned girl named Elphaba, who will grow up to become the infamous Wicked Witch of the West, a smart, prickly, and misunderstood creature who challenges all our preconceived notions about the nature of good and evil. Well, that's very true. I was surprised at how adult this content was, so I wouldn't hand this to a young child or read it to them. It's fairly sexualized, and it builds and it adds to the story, but definitely for adults. It's not a children's fairy tale, so I would have them stick to the original Wizard of Oz until they're older. Along that same theme, Gregory Maguire, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister. This one is a little bit, as one of my friends likes to say, well loved. It's bent a few times, but that's what happens at used bookstores. We have used and new. Just means it's been looked through many times, read over and over. Like this page. Fix. There's a few others, but this was another very well retold story by Gregory Maguire. It's based on Cinderella, obviously, and told from the perspective of one of the ugly stepsisters. And the back says, "We have all heard the story of Cinderella, the beautiful child cast out to slave among the ashes. But what of her stepsisters, the homely pair exiled into ignominy by the fate of their lovely sibling? What fate befell those untouched by beauty, and what curses accompanied Cinderella's looks?" Set against the backdrop of 17th century Holland, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister tells the story of Iris, an unlikely heroine who finds herself swept from the lowly streets of Harlem to a strange world of wealth, artifice, and ambition. Iris's path quickly becomes intertwined with that of Clara, the mysterious and unnaturally beautiful girl destined to become her sister. While Clara retreats to the cinders of the family hearth, Iris seeks out the shadowy secrets of her new household and the treacherous truth of her former life. Far more than a mere fairy tale, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister is a novel of beauty and betrayal, illusion and understanding, reminding us that deception can be unearthed and love unveiled in the most unexpected of places. So this is good. The cover's kind of cool. It just has her with an admirer and then with an egg. And you can see in the background it's on fire. So, another awesome Gregory Maguire book. This is a complete departure from your other ones. This is excellent. How to Stay Alive in the Woods. For anybody who wants to go camping, I would recommend this. I mean, unless you're literally like on a parking lot, you know, one of those campsites, it's always good to have your wits about you and to know what to do if anything goes horribly awry. So, I have not read all of this, but I've read some, and, you know, it's it can be very simplistic about, like, the safest principle regarding water, and that I have read, and it says, "How can we tell if the water is pure? Short of laboratory tests, we cannot. For even where a fountain rill bubbles through sheer mountain fastness, the putrefying carcass of a winter-killed animal may be lying a few yards upstream." So basically it goes into what can happen, possibly, and what the safest way to go about it is. So kind of the theory of if it's fast-moving water, it's fine. Doesn't hold up because, like I said, there could be something creating disease a few yards away that you may not be able to see around a bend. So the safest rule regarding water is boil it, always. So just in case, it's a little tidbit, but I would go ahead and take a look at this in case you ever want to go camping or mountain trekking and backpacking, and more power to you. Sorry, one of the cats knocked over your book. So I'm going to say Asylum is one that I learned my lesson that I can't read scary books. It says in the back, I'll just read the back about this. Once you get in, there's no getting out. For 16-year-old Dan Crawford, the New Hampshire college prep program is the chance of a lifetime. Except that when Dan arrives, he finds that the usual summer housing has been closed, forcing students to stay in the crumbling Brookline dorm, formerly a psychiatric hospital. It sounds safe. As Dan and his new friends, Abby and Jordan, start exploring Brookline's twisted halls and hidden basement, they uncover disturbing secrets about what really went on here. Secrets that link Dan and his friends to the asylum's dark past. Because it turns out Brookline was no ordinary psych ward. And there are some secrets that refuse to stay buried. Featuring haunting found photographs from real asylums, this mind-bending reading experience blurs the lines between past and present, friendship and obsession, genius and insanity. So, this is part of a set. The sequel is called Sanctum. I didn't get to that. This was very, very, very good. Very scary. If that's your thing, more power to you. And we'll end on a favorite I think everybody's familiar with, and obviously you, since you're buying it. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is probably my favorite Harry Potter book, more or less because of its length. It's the longest one. It's over 1,000 pages, and actually, it is, I lied. It's 870 pages. I don't know why I had that in my head, that it was over 1,000 pages, but anyway, it's a good read. So this lets us have a little more time with Harry right before things get really serious in the Deathly Hallows. This is kind of where he becomes useful and more of an adult figure, and really comes into his own as a wizard as he joins the Order of the Phoenix. So, I know you'll enjoy this one. I'm actually just starting to reread the series again. Starting over. Always good to revisit. Just makes life a little more magical when you're reading this. So, I hope I was able to give you any insight into some of these books, and which ones maybe you want to start with, and they're all awesome picks, but I hope you enjoy. It's always nice talking to a fellow reader, especially one who likes fantasy and magical realism and all of that. So I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you again when you need more books.